Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So let's dive right in. I have this card that I picked up last time, and this is another in-game Salem Spectre Fastback 500. This one came with the 2-carb OHV supercharged engine, which means it's going to stick through the hood. And I wanted to build one of these because I'm curious what it looks like with the hood poking, with the blower poking through the hood, since I haven't actually bothered to do one of these cars before. Like, no body parts on it. So I'm going to do one of these and see what it looks like. And that was seat 11 leather D, which I guess is appropriate. Steering wheel 7. Go ahead and slap these in here. I haven't actually done any work on this car yet, so I'm going to have to go get the tools. Boy, I wish this thing would stay in the setting I left it in. It always resets itself. I'm going to hang on to that. Well, let's see. Front windows generic, fenders generic. I'm going to hang on to those headlights for a moment so I don't forget what I need. And we'll go ahead and grab our welder and our interior detailing kit. Clean this up. I don't think I'm going to use these rims again. I don't know if I like those. I think I just did that twice. Alright, so we have a light blue. That's the factory color with a white stripe. That's probably fine. I like that. I think I can live with that. That's not what I want either. Go ahead and yank out the body parts. And we'll go and throw the battery on the charger, which is something I'm trying to remember to do. And we'll get our fuel tank and our fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and do the full upgrade as usual and see what kind of car this comes out to be. Now, I like working on the in-game cars because you can actually build them up pretty nicely, and they come out looking remarkably good. And I just wanted, since I did one of these before that was the base model version of the car, that didn't have the, that's not what I want either. I did the base model version of this car that didn't have the supercharged engine, and I actually did the V8 Hemi engine in that car, because even though this looks like a Mustang, it isn't one, and I felt okay doing that. But I do want to do it with the blower poking through the hood, because I'm really curious as to what it looks like. I don't think it had. Nah, it doesn't have. I was just wondering to myself momentarily there if it had catalytic converters, but of course it doesn't. It's too old for that. I think pipe V8C is actually here. Or maybe not. Well, that's a bummer. Okie doke. Let's see if we can repair those things. Oh, I keep doing that. I always forget. You tap it once to bring it down, and then you have to click and hold to get it down to the ground. And then I forget to do it. I tap it again, and the car goes up and down, up and down. I need to get that battery. Okay, and we only got back... play a different game for a while and you forget all the controls. So that was the only body part we are actually able to use again. It looks like taillight B, hood B, headlight B. I wonder if these are in the other store. Yeah. Is that right? Doesn't look right. I guess it is, because this is right. Yep, and there's that cutout. Yep, those are the correct tail lights as well. I always try to be careful to do that because it affects the value of the car if you put the wrong ones on it. Oh, bench fastback, look at that. And that should give us... We only have 4 windows to worry about. Bumpers, right fender, mirrors, and trunk. And that should do it. Oh, I need license plates. Almost forgot. Okay. Body is 100%. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and paint it. Forget what I'm doing. Come back here. Okay, we'll go with this. We'll stick with this light blue. Oh, so that stripe doesn't work with this hood. Well, that is a bummer. And we have to use this hood because we're going to be building that supercharged engine. And I wanted to do one of these wacky colors. This is I did the chameleon color on that other car, and it worked better. No, I think I did do it chrome. It was just darker. I'm going to do this. I mean, this is going to be kind of a goofball car. You know, I actually like the way this works. When the lighting hits it, it changes. So it's dark on top and light on the bottom. Did I not? Yeah, you can barely even see that there's a stripe there. I think that's going to work out okay. I'm going to stick with that. And we need to think about the wheels. Not sure if I like those rims per se. Though I do actually want to stick in the retro category. Oh, I should have taken... I'm going to have to go back to the front, get the clutch and stuff off. I always like to take all those pieces off ahead of time, because all of them are going to get thrown away anyway. There's no point in messing around with them. I wonder if I got the knuckle off. Yeah, I did. Can't see. Yeah, I did. For a second there, I thought maybe I didn't take the knuckle off the other end of the axle. This engine looks like there's one head, no oil pan. I don't see any bearing caps in there. I think it has a power steering pump on it. Oops. Front timing stuff is there. So this engine isn't as bare as some of the ones I've worked on, but it's still pretty bare. Gotta get rid of those now. So we'll go through and get rid of all the stuff that we know we're going to have to replace. Which actually isn't quite as much as you would think. The leaf spring rear end actually has a lot that's repairable. Though those were rear shock B. And thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and replace all the brake parts. Because even though you can usually usually repair one or two of those, like the, I don't remember if it's the, I think you can usually repair like one or two of the drive shoes, the brake shoes rather, and that just seems super weird to me. Okay, so we repaired less than I hoped, actually. 2 U-bolts, 2 plates, the axle, and a solid rear drive axle. I just bought 2 rear axles. Nice. Oh, I need a drive shaft. Missed that one. V8 OHV transmission. And at least we repaired this, which means we'll get like $450 for that, which is better than, you know, 30 bucks or 20 bucks for scrap. So these wheels are black on white. And I have chromed these rims out before, and it looks okay, but I don't know if I want to do that. I meant to look at the size of them. Those are 15s. Let's look at the retro. I am a big fan of this wheel. I use this one a lot. Though I actually think instead of using that other one, I think I'll use this, because this looks better chrome. And these are 255, 50, 15. I think I will... No, I'm going to use this. Not a big fan of the tires that have the white writing on them. I'll only use those. There's only a few cars that I think that actually works on. I hope I didn't just paint the same one twice. I have a feeling that that's what happened there. No, good, I didn't. It happens to me a lot. Because when you're just chroming the rim out, it doesn't... I mean, it puts a little square. Like if you see here, there's a little square on it to indicate that it's painted. But when you're just doing the rims, it doesn't necessarily show that. And see, you look at this one versus this one. I think this one is going to look better than that one. Yeah, okay. I like to try to put everything on that I can put on without having to move the camera first. It still annoys me, after all this time, that you can't maneuver the camera with the mouse. You have to do it with the keyboard. I suppose if you're playing on a console, you can use the controller. It's probably easier. The leaf spring rear end, at least, is super easy to put together. You can almost autopilot your way through most of it. Okay. Yeah, that wheel definitely looks better than this one. This one is the hub is deeper than this one. This one is better proportioned. This one is better proportioned than this. Good old double wishbone shock absorber suspension. Suspension. Haha. One of these days I will learn how to talk. This is another one though that so many cars, they necessarily have to do this because, in the real world, cars don't have interchangeable parts. Every single car would have their own individual hub and bearing and axle and suspension arm, and you couldn't use one from a different manufacturer because they would be sized slightly differently. It's necessary for gameplay, of course, in something like this, that everything be the same. And they put stuff together in different combinations, but they're all still the same pieces. Which means if you do it enough, you can start to memorize things. Oops, there's a bushing I didn't get. Okay, we gotta process through these parts now. There's more to this one than the other one. 12 of those. And we'll get a set of front brakes. Probably end up repairing like this caliper. But I'm not going to do it. And those are all front sway bar B. That's the thing to remember. A set of front brakes, which use the ventilated disc. Only got one brake pad there. And the bushings. And actually, I should start to remember, because I know that the hub bearing and the hubcap are not repairable. So I'll need to buy those, and the front double wishbone, I need to assemble them. Oh, I think I just sold something I didn't mean to. Oh well. Okay, so this can go. Probably not going to get. We're not going to get all this stuff back. I can tell you that for free. 15-inch wheels again. And I think those tires were the same size. 255, 50, 15. They sure were. Okay, yeah. Knuckle C, front axle knuckle cover. Okay, that gives us all of our chassis pieces. Just need to get the new rims painted, and then we're set to reassemble that. I do like how the rim and the tire look. The proportions are very good. 255, 50, 15. And I have matched the tire size. So we're good there. I'm just going to wait for this one to finish balancing so I don't have to come back over here to get it. Okay, now for the fun part. The 3D Puzzle Palace. I swear this part will never get old. Putting in the nice shiny new parts to replace all the rusty old crap. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I swear I just live for this stuff. I was checking on the Steam forums because I looked on there to see if there were any updates from the developers a while ago, and they had posted a thing saying that the next update patch for the game is going to include performance parts for the Chrysler DLC, since the Chrysler CLC, the Chrysler DLC cars still don't have any performance parts, and they added them, like for the Mercedes DLC, in fairly short order. But they haven't done anything like that for the Chrysler stuff, which kind of stinks. So they announced that they were coming, and I'm still waiting for them to show up, because I still have a Chrysler 300 that I've stuck in storage that's partially built, and it's waiting. I didn't finish it up. I left the stuff that usually comes as a performance piece, the exhaust and the heads and the manifolds and whatnot. So I'm waiting for that stuff to come so that I can build it the rest of the way, find out what it's like, because neither of those cars were terribly exciting, just built standard. Where are we at now? Looking pretty good. 64 grand. Figured I'd go ahead and buy a starter early for once. Get this hunk of junk out of here. Actually drops the value by $4,000 to take out a incomplete, rusty piece of junk engine. Does it actually have... doesn't have 8 pistons in it, it has 7 pistons in it. The ones on the side with the head are still there. Okay, so... and most of the stuff we just took off here we're not going to use. I'm pretty sure this engine is going to take that. The OHV oil pan. There was something else that just crossed my mind. I know I'm going to need the supercharger bits. Yeah, OHV, intake manifold, water pump pulley, the OHV pulley. And let's see, serpentine belt A. I'm actually not sure which one of these belts it's going to use. Let's go over here. Get stuff that we know we're going to need. And the OHV exhaust manifold. Ignition stuff, and I'm going to need ignition stuff. Pretty sure it's going to take the coil. And probably ignition wires V8. And taking a shot at that one. Not certain. Should look at what I actually have in here. V8 OHV camshaft. And wanted to get the timing chain. And I forgot to look. Let's see. Alternator, power steering pump. It's going to be this timing cover. And there's an OHV water pump pulley, isn't there? Or OHV water pump? Yeah. Pretty sure, and let's see, I've got the supercharger pulley. I have a feeling that there's another pulley it needs. Okay, so 28% and 29 and 30 on those two pieces. So hopefully we will be able to reuse them. Yeah. So all that stuff that we took off, the only parts that we're going to use again are the block and the crankshaft. I should have bought those I should have bought both of those belts. What the hell? Did I just not... What did I just buy? Oh, I bought that one. That's what I get for not paying attention. Oh, did I not... I wonder if I remember selling the old stuff. I wonder if I actually bought the clutch release bearing. Probably didn't. This is another thing I really enjoy, assembling the pistons inside the crankcase, because it just looks so cool as it goes together. I would love it if they had like a transparent view so you could see it operate. Watch the pistons go up and down and the crankshaft go around. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know how much programming overhead that would take, but it would be neat. I could probably sit and watch something like that for hours. I was just thinking, I didn't put that clip on. Put the clip on the front, but not on the back. This one I'm going to need to, I know I'm going to need to buy push rods and rocker arms. And the spark plugs are all going to go in down here. What are you? Push rod? Valve push rod. Engine head cover A and B. I know I don't have the carburetors though. It just occurred to me. I can't remember if it takes the 4-barrel. I think it does. There's 2 of them go on top of the supercharger, and then the scoop air filters go on top of that, and then of course the scoop on top of that thing. Okay, what is that? Yep, 4-barrel. At least that I can get in the other store. And I don't think that they have... Yeah, they don't have the scoop air filters in here, which is a bummer. 2 of these and 1 of those. And this is another one of those pieces that once you put these in, you're going to bury them under the other pieces. You won't be able to see them anymore. Ah, that's that other belt. I knew the alternator needed a belt. And of course a fan. I don't know what I was thinking. His engine is a lot more busy than the other one. I mean, the supercharged V8 OHV, not OHV, the supercharged V8, the DOHC supercharged V8, is a lot more compact, but it's also way more powerful than this thing. These rocker arms went on pretty easily. A lot of times those are super tedious for me. They just went on quick. Maybe I'm finally getting used to them after all this time. Okay. I think we're all done there. Once we get oil in it and get the transmission installed, then we'll be ready to test it. That's what I was hoping for right there. That looks nice. There's a couple of cars that you like the Typhoon, the one that looks like a Shelby Cobra. You can put this engine in that car too, but they don't have a cutout hood for it. So the blower sits on. I mean, it looks pretty. It looks okay actually, because it clips through the hood at like exactly the right level, just below the blower. So it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look ridiculous, but it still would be nicer if it actually had a purpose-made part for it. Where are we at? 100%. All right, cool. Time to go to the dyno. I'm not totally sold on this color. Just see if it grows on me here before we're done. So $4.98 for this. $942, because the other supercharged V8 gets up to like 1140 something. Okay, I'm not going to get in it. It's just, I mean, it's a vanilla in-game car. So I mean, I wonder if the radio, probably doesn't have a digital radio in it though. Yeah, it doesn't. Some of the ones that have digital radios have little funny slogans on them. All right, let's take it out and drive it real quick. Okay, here we are. I'm liking the color more outside. It looks inside the garage it was very dark, and out here it's more, the shade of blue is very nice. I'm happy with it. I like how it looks. Let's see, it shouldn't be too hard to control either. Oh, she's starting to drift. No! Try to correct it and it yanks back. Topped out at 141 miles an hour. Yeah, if I changed the gearing, we could get more speed out of it. But it was really squirrely back there. I think this is about as fast as I would want to go in this car with this engine, because I don't really like to have to put slicks on a car unless it's actually meant to be a race car. But 141 seems perfectly respectable. Certainly you could go out and kill yourself in this car if you wanted to. Okay, so we can go ahead and get rid of this car now. This was mainly just something I wanted to do to see. I wanted to do this mainly just to see how it behaved and what it looked like this. So we can go ahead and get rid of these other cars as well. This one I just wanted to mention briefly because this is that Ford Mustang I picked up the other day. And it's just a 1969 Ford Mustang, like the base model. This color is the factory color. So this lavender, I guess. I left it like this because I wanted to show what it looked like, even though it's an awful color. I mean, it's not, well, let me rephrase that. I mean, I don't mind the color that much, but it is not right for this car. I've seen some factory colors on cars that were just insane, like the Pepto-Bismol Porsches that I find every now and then. But this is not, I mean, I only paid, I think, $62 or $6,500 for this in the garage, in the junkyard rather, and it sells for a little over $53,000, so that's fine. And then the DB5 here is done. This car I'm really pleased with. I really like how the color came out. And this is just a beautiful car, no matter how way you slice it. The factory color on it was this really bright turquoise, and I darkened it up quite a bit, so it's kind of a really deep ocean green. I like it a lot. If I didn't have one of these in my collection, I might keep it, but I have one already. And this is a $1 million car, so that one can go. Just over $1 million. And I'm curious how much this thing is. $130,000. So this like blows away the Mustang in the value sweepstakes. $130,548. That's a hell of a price for this car. So yeah, that's definitely worth my time though. I will sell cars for $130,000 all day long. I'll go ahead and sell that, and poof. And we just cracked $200 million. Oh, that's all kinds of fun. Alright, cool. So, that'll wrap this up. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you again here for our next Junkyard adventure. So on that note, bye for now.